What's going on, guys? BouseFeenux here, and today is Thursday, which historically is pretty much the day of the week that everything interesting happens in this game. It's also the day of the weekly For Honor dev stream, which we're gonna cover today. So, let's jump in. First up, after almost 3 weeks of waiting, we have finally got the tournament mode that Season 3 was supposed to ship with. For those of you out of the loop, tournament mode is the 1v1 ranked mode, and if you're new to the game, I've got a couple of videos, which I'll link in the cards at the top right-hand corner of this video, that should help fill you in. One caveat though, if you've got a restricted nat type, you won't be able to play just yet, as the dev stream is still working out some of the kinks. Also, I don't recommend playing ranked unless you've got some time to sit down and actually get through it. It takes anywhere from 30 minutes to about an hour to complete a ranked tournament, and if you leave during said tournament, you'll incur a massive penalty. I think I saw one guy said he was locked out of the game for an hour, so they are definitely not fucking around with this. Moving on though, you should also know that champion status is 50% off starting today, which is August 31st, and that goes until September 7th. Now, as for weekly content, the smoke effect that was available for the Season 3 characters is now out for everyone, but it still costs 5,000 steel. I saw a lot of rumors from people thinking it'd be free for Season Pass holders, and from what I'm seeing on my screen, this is very untrue. Moving on though, the last major highlight of the dev stream, as always, was the Roman segment. His first big talking point was that they're taking a big look at some characters like Conqueror, and they're considering completely reworking them. Now, obviously, something like this is going to take a long time, but it is nice to know that by the time For Honor 2 comes out, maybe Kensei will be viable in top-level play. One can only hope. But the next thing he mentioned was that there are a few broken things on Highlander. Surprise, surprise. Something I personally can attest to. Chiefly the fact that if you get a caber toss, the heavy that comes after shouldn't be parryable. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, as A, caber toss is extremely easy to move away from and very hard to land, and B, you get the same punish from it as you do a kick. It's basically a useless move right now. Oh, and then to top it all off, you've got shit like this. Fair and balanced. But yeah, the last thing he talked about really got under my skin, and I'm sure for those of you that were there, it kind of rustled your jimmies a bit as well. Apparently, there aren't any changes planned for Centurion coming up. They think the character is fine and that he doesn't really need to be tweaked in any way. Now, I'm not 100% sure this wasn't sarcasm, so don't go off hating people or whatever, but regardless, I don't know about you guys, but I think a skip cutscene button for when Centurion punishes you would be just fantastic. In all seriousness though, the hard part about balancing this character isn't just to go in and change numbers around. Parts of his kit that deal with animations and just the way the character is built is kind of what makes him inherently broken. And aside from just deleting the character from the game, which is something I know a lot of you would probably like to see, I don't really know what they could do. Now, that being said, a lot of the suggestions I've seen say to just take away his wall splat from his uncharged punch, which I think might be a good start, but I don't really feel like that would solve the Centurion problem completely. But anyway, as stated in the title of this video, there was a balance patch added to the game today, and I know how much you guys love patch notes, so let's take a quick look at it. For Highlander, his guard break range has been fixed, and it should be the same as all the other characters. I did test this out earlier, and it seems to be working now, which is a pretty good start. For Centurion, his charged heavy feints and regular heavy feints now cost the appropriate amount of stamina. On top of this, they also fixed the unlock tech for the first hit of Centurion's zone attack being unparryable. For Raider, his Stampede charge got a bit of a nerf today. The sprint speed requirement got increased now, so now you have to reach a higher sprint speed than you had to previously. On top of that, the startup for it has been increased another 100 milliseconds. For Shinobi, he basically got the same treatment as Raider. His slide tackle sprint speed requirement has been increased from 3 meters a second to 5 meters a second before he can initiate that attack. And lastly, for Kensei, they fixed a bit of his unlock tech as well. Swift Strike, his side dash light, can no longer be unlocked to become unparryable, but that's about it for balance changes, guys. I'll leave a link to those in the description below so you can look over them yourselves. But to be completely honest with you guys, I'm a little frustrated with For Honor right now. From the balance issues to the clusterfuck that is matchmaking, I'm feeling the old For Honor fatigue starting to set in. Things just seem to take way too long to fix, and we've got issues in the game that we have had since day one just now getting looked at and patched over. it is so frustrating as a player to see the same problems persist in a game you really like for so long. And the sad part of it is, though, it makes for great content, as there's always some kind of stupid drama surrounding this game. And I guess I just wish there was something I could do directly to help speed things along, but I have none of the talents or knowledge required to fix a video game. All I can do is let you guys know what's going on with it and hope that things get better. But that's really all I've got for you today, though, guys. If you found the video helpful, leave a like down below, and if you're new here, get subscribed for more For Honor content. Until next time, though, I'm BouseFeenux. I'll see you at the next one, and as always, thank you so much for watching.